So speaking of Mr. Kyrie Irving, who's last listed on our little rundown ski here. Okay, so this happened literally before we went live. So brushed up as far as like the freshness of this topic. It seems to me that Mr. Irving will be testing free agency, if not brought back on a deal from the Brooklyn Nets, which does not seem as imminent as everybody once thought.
Yeah, it looks like there's a few options out there on the table already. You know how fast the internet works. They're talking like if he wants to go to LA, it would have to be a sign and trade, not an opt out. And LA, I'm talking about the Lakers. Could you imagine LeBron and Kyrie reuniting? Again? Yeah, because of the way that
I thought they split because they hated each other.
Well, they didn't hate each other. They just didn't. Kyrie wanted out. He wanted to be the man. But I think Kyrie may have since learned that being the man is not as easy as he thought it was. And teaming up with a guy like KD, who dominates the ball, doesn't need to dominate the ball. I'm confused what Kyrie's actually looking for, if it's a Kyrie thing or the Nets thing, because he wasn't all in. And I think if you listen to KD's comments after the season last year, it was a little cryptic in that they want people all in. And if you're gonna read,
he was only halfway in because of the vaccination status.
If you're gonna read between the lines, and it's not like he's bashing Kyrie, but understanding that Kyrie's not all in on the team because he has other issues that are going on, whether you agree with him or not, which I do happen to agree with Kyrie on a lot of them. It's still not really the best thing for a team that's vying for a championship. The Nets are still third, even with the potential Kyrie opting out situation to win the NBA Finals, which will change obviously dramatically depending on if they're able to pull off a sign and trade and who they would get.
How about Kyrie to Milwaukee?
Ooh, wow.
That would be like, I think, a fit for him. I don't know.
Would you take him on the Knicks?
I don't think you're going to find a spot. I don't think you're going to find a spot. No.
You don't know what you're going to get.
No.
I don't want him.
No. I don't think you're going to find a spot that Kyrie doesn't typically fit into the basketball player. Like, add Kyrie anywhere that doesn't have a point guard, and he makes them a lot better. What about...
It's a hypothetical, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to think.
I just thought the Milwaukee was probably like the best.
About like the Nuggets.
Fit. That's another place too he could go with
Jokic. What about a team that?
With Jokic would be like.
But they already have Murray when he comes
Tatum?
back.
He's not a point.
No, he's not going back to Boston.
No, yeah,
bro, he hates the city of Boston. That's the one thing we could automatically eliminate Cleveland and Boston.
Kyrie just sent out like a tweet. It's just a picture. It's I don't know if you ever seen The Wire. The assassin. He's like the Muslim guy. He comes out and tries to him and the other guy kill the guy in the warehouse. You probably never seen The Wire.
You don't probably never move off of him. I also saw that Bradley Beal already decided on his free agent destination, but he's just not revealing the sources. That's a weird tactic. I've never seen a player come out and say that.
I saw like LA Lakers too, though.
But it's like that's not what he's saying. He's saying he knows where he's going, but he's just not saying it. Now, maybe what it would do, it's a unique tactic. It's probably just agent speak coming here. And if there's a team that thinks it's not them, they might come with a bigger offer now. If that makes sense.
Maybe, yeah.
Where it's like, I already decided, and it's like, nah, I'm stuck here. I'm here. It's like, if you want me, you got to really pry me away. Almost like the Browns did with Watson.
Yeah.
Where he was like saying, I'm only going to New Orleans.
But here's all this guaranteed money.
Yeah, and then they changed his mind.
You know what? I've always loved
Cleveland. But if I was to think about
life.
what the best place for a Bradley Beal type would be Miami, right? He doesn't play defense, but Miami needs a scorer more so than anything. Because Jimmy Butler could score, but I just don't believe in Jimmy Butler, the finisher.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Kyle's coming back in. Like, what motivation do the Bucks have right now to change anything? I mean, they're champions back-to-back if
agree.
if fully healthy.
I agree.
Right?
I'm just saying, like, him there would be like
a team,
man.
I
think they'd be unstoppable with him, too, though.
I think if there's anything that the Bucks could do better would be a little more athletic around the rim, because Giannis could be a great rim protector, but that's just not what they ask him to do. Brook Lopez is a good player for them, but I don't think he's.
How about Dallas? Got Jason Kidd over there as the coach.
But they have Luka's a point.
Luka's not a
point. He's pretty much running.
But I mean, pretty much, yes.
400-pound point guard.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
What does that have to do? Magic Johnson was a point guard.
I'm
just the NBA
looking at Luka's.
What position does Ben Simmons play?
He does bench.
He doesn't play
Left bench.
Yeah. Ben Simmons played,
but
left out.
he's also a point guard, and he's like 6'11".
He sucks. Whatever. I don't want to talk about Ben Simmons. He's terrible. He doesn't even play. His mentals are all
Here's
wacky.
Kyle saying, realistically, the teams that could sign Kyrie: Knicks, Heat, Pacers, Lakers. If they could get off the Westbrook contract.
Right now,
what about a trade right then and there? Would the Nets fans embrace
right now,
Westbrook?
Yeah,
Yes.
realistically, right now,
Westbrook. Wait a minute. Westbrook and KD playing together?
They'd probably play together right now, both of them.
Can you imagine?
What I can imagine.
I could too.
Didn't they play together with the Thunder?
Yeah, but
Yes.
they were kids though.
But then did they get to a title?
They
And
played.
lost?
They lost to
They
the
lost
Cavs.
to
I
the-
mean,
to the Heat.
That was the
So
Heat.
they got there together.
Yeah.
I see a very unfinished.
Weren't they all?
business
Didn't they
type
also?
thing
Didn't
where
they
get
also have a
together again.
3-1 lead against Golden State?
They
They
did.
lost, and
They
then
did have a
KD
3-1.
joined Golden State.
Yeah. Yep, they did.
Reunited and it fe- All right, here we go.